Hello. And for those of you asking, no, my hair is not blue. It's just my hair is very fine and fluffy, which is why I keep it short. And the light shines through it onto that blue screen of the blue curtain behind me, and you're getting some blue. I'm going to see if I can tweak the saturation on my video, but if I can't, I'm going to leave it like that. It is not blue. It's just reflective. Okay. Now we've got that cleared, let's get on with the show. You see, it's Easter weekend, and Easter weekend, generally speaking, means people going out on picnics and family outings and visits and all the rest of it, and they can't because they're locked down. The one thing that is an Easter tradition here is chocolate, which they should still be allowed to indulge, but not according to the police. Oh, by the way, I want to wish all, I know I've got a lot of subscribers in Israel, so happy Passover. I know you're locked down too, and I'm sorry for the whole business. But actually, don't despair, because once this lockdown is over, I found this. Deadly giant Asian hornets that can kill with one sting are heading to the UK. So you never know. They may come to the Middle East as well. And, here, one attack could prove fatal to someone who's allergic to the insect's venom. Well, people can be allergic to tiny little bumblebee, never mind a deadly giant Asian hornet. So, but I'll tell you what, I'll put another video up, not a video, a photograph, a screenshot I took of these hats. And I thought, well, that look, with the face visor, I thought that looks good. I could use that. And then I thought, hang on a minute, where are those things made? How much do you want to bet they're made in China? So they give us this awful virus, and then they sell us the hats. They should be giving the hats away. All right, well, that's another bit of my rant. Here we are with the chocolate ban. You see, the police have decided that any enjoyment is going to be a bad thing. And now they've been given discretion to arrest people for various sorts of things. Well, look, this is what Priti Patel says. Asked about the Chief Constable of Northamptonshire saying there's a chance of stepping up roadblocks and even marshalling supermarkets and checking the items in baskets. This is what a police officer said in an interview, a high-ranking police officer. Miss Patel told Talk Radio, that's not appropriate. Let me be clear about that. I work with the police and leadership every single day of the week and have been since this crisis. That is not the guidance. That is not down to the measures we've been adopting thus far. Miss Patel warned people to take responsibility and referring to scurrilous stories of police checking for Easter eggs, she said, that's not what the police are here to do. Well, no, it's not. But then police officers actually doing this. This is from The Sun. Cops clamped down on Easter egg sales today and even fined a cyclist in Richmond Park. As the Met boss admitted, some officers were going too far. You give a policeman power and he will use it. The Association of Convenience Stores claimed some members had been faced with overzealous enforcement and had been told not to sell Easter eggs as officers patrolled a Lidl car park. And while Downing Street said it was up to a police officer's discretion, The PM spokesperson added, if a shop is allowed to remain open, then it will, of course, sell whatever items it has in stock. Up to a police officer's discretion. When will these politicians learn that a police officer has about as much discretion as, I believe the American expression is, a $2 whore? They have no discretion at all when it comes to being able to exercise power. There are obviously some reasonable police officers, but there are obviously a lot more who aren't, who enjoy pushing people round. Just a minute, I've got this. Where is it? Oh, here we are. Yeah. So, this is from the Daily Mail. But Downing Street has been forced to warn police officers against heavy-handed lockdown tactics after officers admitted to prowling through supermarket aisles in a bid to catch shoppers buying non-essential items. What is a non-essential item? If you're stuck at home with a bunch of fractious kids, I'd say Easter eggs are absolutely essential. And if you're going to be stuck home, then DIY items, why not? Get that bedroom painted, get those tiles stuck behind the sink. This is the time to do it. This is the time to feel like your Easter weekend hasn't been completely wasted. Of course. But they don't want people to feel like that. Do you know, as a matter of fact, I believe when war was declared, in the Second World War, for the first, as soon as war was declared, all cinemas were closed down straight away. That's the official reaction to anything like that. And then they realised that people couldn't live like that. And you'd think people would have learnt from that experience, wouldn't you? Police forces have been accused of being overzealous as they threatened to check through people's shopping, causing Police State UK to trend on Twitter. The warning saw Downing Street warn police today that if a shop is open, then it will sell whatever it has in stock. It comes as Cambridge police official Twitter account boasted that officers had visited a local superstore this morning to snoop on shoppers and found aisles selling non-essentials were empty. Oh yeah, they were really glad that non-essentials... What does the police think non-essentials are? Or what do they think essentials are? For instance, if there's a trolley full of Masonic regalia, a policeman would no doubt regard that as essential, yeah? The tweet caused outrage from social media users, with many pointing to a post sent by the same account hours earlier, thanking a local chocolate shop for dropping off a generation donation. I think they might have meant generous donation of goodies at its police station. Yeah. One rule for the police and one rule for the proles, yes? Meanwhile, a video showed a South Yorkshire police officer scolding a family on their own doorstep for letting their young children play on their front lawn. The force later apologised for the encounter, which it called well-intentioned but ill-informed. No, not well-intentioned at all. Bullying behaviour. This woman's got a little bit of power and a little notebook in her hand, and she can tell people things. She can order them around. She walked away from this encounter feeling like she'd done something. Meanwhile, last week I posted a video in which 100 people attended a Muslim funeral and no action was taken, it says in the report about that. No, this is a disgrace. Cambridge police officers visited Tesco Bar Hill this morning as part of their patrols. Good to see everyone was abiding by social distancing measures and the non-essential aisles were empty. What is non-essential? just what you decide, because you're in this car with yellow and blue decorations on the doors. The force added that while it has to issue a small number of fines to those ignoring lockdown guidelines, none of these were in relation to shopping. Among those to chastise the post was Pitt Moss, who wrote, "The law doesn't forbid the purchase of non-essential items when shopping for essentials such as food." You know, it almost makes me want to go to a supermarket to buy some perfume, just to get something non-essential. Another user added, "One day you're going to have to look back on all this and tell people that in the midst of crisis, you chose to spend your time patrolling around looking to enforce laws that didn't exist." And here's a policewoman very similar to the one who was telling those kids not to play in their own front garden. Here's a woman. Can you see anyone around her? What is she doing wrong? You don't know where this woman lives. She could live in a one-room bedsit somewhere. This might be her only chance to get some sanity into her life, some space and some fresh air. How does that policewoman know? But even if not, she is bothering no one. Just look at all that around her. In fact, this policewoman is doing more harm by standing too close to her than that woman was doing just sitting there, enjoying the view, getting some peace. Well, that's it. I do hope that those of you who are at home this Easter weekend will get some stuff done. I've done a lot of stuff around the house that I've been putting off literally for years. And we started clearing up the garage a couple of days ago, and that was actually very satisfying. And maybe we'll have another go a bit later on to get some more cleared. So I'm in many ways, that's quite nice, although I don't have small children tugging at my skirts all the time, so I can be a bit more relaxed about it, I suppose. And then there's all those masks I'm sewing, so I am pretty busy. And I hope you can manage to catch up on those things that you have been putting off. For many, this is a lonely time, I'm sure. For many more, though, it is an opportunity to catch up. And if any policeman comes round and tells you you can't buy an Easter egg, just tell them to sod off. It's a disgrace. Happy Easter, everyone. Oh, and happy Passover too. If you want to donate or contact, the information will be rolling over the Graniopteryx as I speak. Please like, subscribe and share because it does help with the algorithm. If you visit my channel on YouTube and one day discover that I've disappeared without warning, you'll still find me on BitChute or Minds. Just go to either of those platforms and do a search for Graniopteryx. If you're already watching this on BitChute or Minds, good for you. Meanwhile, if you're watching this on YouTube, remember that you must keep checking the subscribe and bell icons because occasionally they reset. Till next time.